Hey, it's Nicholas here again with the second of seven videos about the present planetary moment. And the primary thesis that I'm exploring in this video series is that the meta-crisis is the emergence into human conscious experience of a dark, horrific glitch in the deep layers of our universe. And a secondary theme is that we currently lack the maps and guides to help us traverse the rite of passage to the other side of that glitch that the meta-crisis offers us. And this is in no small part because we still have hippie boomer spiritualities of love and light taking center stage. Now, it is all love and light in truth, but to realize that truth, we need to get to the other side of the glitch. And in order to do that, in order to make the rite of passage a safe passage, we need authentic and mature, science congruent spiritualities of light and dark.
Last time, I introduced Class 3 reality theories, transcending and including both Class 1 science and Class 2 spiritualities of light. Class 3 theories are the authentic and mature maps we need now. Class 3's key differentiating feature is what I call universe scale shadow, or USS. A quick orientation to the USS is by thinking of our universe itself as a living being that underwent early life trauma in the way most humans do, although the universe's trauma was far more profound and damaging than almost any human has experienced. In this video, I use the concept of the USS as the basis for a new understanding of what's happening on the planet right now, before spending most of the rest of the series talking about responding to the present moment. As I said last time, and implicitly in opening today, the new mode of understanding that Class 3 offers is to see what's happening today as the novel emergence into human consciousness of a previously unnamed and unmet USS, again, the universe scale shadow. The USS isn't itself the horrific glitch I spoke about in opening. It's a downstream consequence of that glitch, but it's explanatorily central to the present moment. So, as I'm doing over on this Substack, we can look at the various domains involved in the polycrisis or metacrisis simply as expressive channels for the emergence or upwelling of the USS into human experience. To give one tiny concrete example of all this, let's look at one tiny piece of US politics. Typically at the moment, to understand political anything, the first go-to in the meta-theoretical community is a psychological stage theory like spiral dynamics. But Class 3 says this is a mistake in the current context, at least as a first move. Instead, naturally, where else would you go? To understand US politics, we should look into first the deep relational structure of our universe, and in particular to the USS. If you want to understand this image in detail, I'd suggest jumping on Substack and looking up Figure 13 in a book chapter I just published there. It's chapter 6. Really, all we need for now, though, is to appreciate there's an ongoing imagination of a bottomless fall in the deep unconscious of our universe. An imagination wrapped in unimaginably vast guilt, shame, terror, rage, and despair, a package which makes up the core energetics of the USS. Now, we can put this picture alongside a stage theory and then understand the primary issue of USS emergence, secondarily expressed through the flavors of various stages. For example, let's take a red center of gravity Indiana building contractor and a yellow DC policy analyst. For those unfamiliar with spiral dynamics, red is a level which focuses on personal egoic authority, whereas yellow takes a systemic view of reality. Stereotypically, when he looks at her, he sees a swamp beast in a swamp that needs to be drained. Stereotypically, when she looks at him, she sees ignorance that needs to be educated and anger that needs to be contained. While there may well be some very partial but very real truths in those mutual viewpoints, Class 3 says they're absolutely missing the vastly bigger issue, and that's why I call these characterizations here misdiagnoses. If he had eyes to see, he would recognize that what really enrages him is not her policy detail, but the fact that it is tinged with and dancing to the tune of the USS. If she had eyes to see, she would recognize that what really terrifies her is not his personal anger, but the vastly larger energy of the USS expressing through him. If they both had eyes to see, they would reach the same diagnosis. It's the USS, stupid, so to speak. And they would both reach for the same response, basically the arc. Recall last time I said that the arc precisely exists to help us meet with the USS. Of course, I'm oversimplifying here. I'm not saying there aren't 100 other non-USS factors at play. But the point is that the major emergent driver, the USS in a Class 3 view, has been left out to date. Of course, almost no one does have eyes to see this, so we have what's going on now. A system being torn to pieces by the unseen, unnamed, unmet maw and claw of the USS. So what's to be done if we do see this, or even a glimmer of this? Well, that's what I'll address next time, when I'll sketch an inner work response to USS emergence centered on arc relationship, expressed in two different and complementary paths.
Again, I'm Nicholas. Thanks so much for watching. See you again next time.